Hello and welcome, everybody. Hi, my name is Craig Peliquin.
And I'm Dennis Wilson.
Welcome, Dennis, to our Wednesday update call. We got a lot of great things to update our members with today, don't we, Dennis?
Well, things are getting closer and closer, put together better and better. Apple's been a little bit nicer to us than they have been over the last 3 weeks. So, yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, no, it's very, very exciting, the things that we have to share. So, you know what? Let's just get right into it, Dennis, and show everybody what we've got in store, what we've been working on. I'll bring up some slides so everybody can see what we're doing, because I tell you, I am really excited here.
It's fun. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, well, let's start off. So, Dennis, who's right?
Well, we're covering this topic just because there seems to be a lot of misinformation out there, and we have some pretty powerful leaders. We have some not as powerful leaders. We've got just sort of a mess of information. So we just wanted to cover off, if your upline tells you something in an MLM, doesn't mean he's right or she's right. Or should you be more interested in what the company says? So we need to make it real clear.
And I've been getting tickets in support. My upline told me, yada, 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 yada. And you have to fix it, change it, delete it, make it what the company promised.
Yeah. So, and that's interesting, right? Your upline told you something, and then you're upset with the company that the company's not doing what your upline told you versus what the company told you.
Right.
So,
as in any MLM, Dennis, there's only one source of information that is the truth.
The emails that the company sends you.
Exactly. Post in your back office. Post on YouTube or Facebook, on official channels.
Or presented on things like this, our weekly webinars.
Right. So now that we know what the truth is, why don't we share some of the things right now? One of the things people are asking a lot about is our vendor payment system and how that's going to work.
Yeah, and so today we are ready to preview it. We are not launching it today. We're still probably a few days to a week away. We'll decide the actual launch date shortly. We're now bolting down all the back end. It has actually, Craig, gone live for a brief period of time, just as a little test. And we learned some really interesting things that we knew we needed to fix up before we go live for real. So it may also go live every now and then by accident, just to get a little bit more feeling of what the members do. But today we're going to preview how it works, why it works, what it does, and really just how cool it is as far as a payment solution.
Okay, cool. So let's take a look at it, Dennis, because I'm pretty excited about this.
All right. So the first thing you do is you start by logging in.
That would make sense, Dennis. Now, once you've logged in, Dennis, you're going to see you can switch between the different currencies that you want to pay, and you're going to see a new button that says Pay Vendor.
Woohoo!
Love it.
Now, this is one thing we need to explain. So all of your sort of free €5 or free 18,000 pesos or free whatever currency you've selected when you signed up to the app, understand that these are separate from your fiat currency. Fiat currency means your actual money, your euros, your pesos. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing that this particular guy has 1,105 euros available to be spent within the app, but 975 of them are euro credits. So he's done a great job at referring a whole bunch of people and his people referring people and all of that. So this is sort of a simulation of somebody who's gone up and really done a good job of getting their people to download the app, put in their username, and then go spend their €5 at a vendor. So the Euro C means euro credits, and these are actually the non-withdrawable, not convertible to cash, only available to be used to purchase something from a vendor, versus the regular euros, which are what you could have in your back office from your earnings. So you are able to, once we get going and enable payments, to spend your earnings at a vendor on top of just your free credits. So we want to emphasize that the program isn't about spending €5. The program is about trying out a new vendor, buying whatever they offer. If it's €100, pay them €100. So we're going to get into now how all of this splits up and happens.
Okay, so you're going to simply click the pay vendor button. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you're going to enter the total amount of the receipt before discount. So you're going to purchase something and type in how much it costs.
That's right.
And then click the continue button. So far, that makes pretty good sense to me, Dennis.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. But here comes the awesomeness.
Yeah, now your currency is pre-selected based on your previous entry, but you could change your mind.
Yeah, if you had multiple currencies for whatever reason, you could actually switch it and get going there.
Now, the app has set the maximum of €5 credit from your free bonus and any that you have earned from referring others. So even though here the users accumulated 975 so far, this is the maximum that can be used lifetime as a single vendor. Can you explain that, Dennis, a little bit more detail so they get why we're doing this?
Yeah, so the whole idea of the program is not for you to go and refer 100 people and get $100 and go to the same guy over and over and over. The whole point of the program is that we give a stream of customers to the vendors that are in our vendor directory, right? So if we were to let people just accumulate it all and go spend it at one place, we're not spreading the love around. We're not fulfilling our promise of the vendors getting a new stream of customers, because everyone's going to go to the same place, their buddy's restaurant, or who knows, maybe they even might try to cheat and get one over on us, Greg, and spend it all at their own company, right? So yeah. It's not the point of the program. So the point of the program is to bring new people to SMA users. So it's not only a minimum, but it's not only a maximum, Craig, it's also a minimum. So the way the program works, as we'll get into the rules later, is if you only spend €1, it's going to take away your €5 credit. So the whole idea is you go in and you spend 5 or more euros at a vendor so that they feel the love of the system that they've been sold into. And if you decide to cheap out and just buy €1 pack of gum, your €5 is going to disappear. The vendor's still going to get his €1. The rest of it's going to disappear because it's about going in and doing a quality transaction with a vendor.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So let's go a little bit further than that, Dennis. And I'll get back into that. So they set it to $5, and now this user had €130 in their personal account. So it auto-filled in the maximum. Of course, you can change this as well.
That's right. So again, what's going to happen, as you see, is you can choose how much of your personal account funds you want to use. We assume that you want to use them. And if you don't, no problem. You can change them.
Got it. Now, in this case, there's an amount left over. And this is what they're going to pay the vendor. So out of the $200 transaction, 130 of it came from your Euro account, your commission account. 5 of it was your Euro credit. And the remaining, you got to pay by Visa, MasterCard, cash, whatever payment type the vendor would normally take.
Correct. And that's sort of the key to our whole system that makes it different than a lot of the other payment systems out there, is that we don't sort of force the vendor into having us control all their customer credit cards or any of that kind of stuff. So whatever isn't happening within our system happens directly to the vendor. And then, of course, the vendor gives you a receipt and you scan it to finalize the transaction.
Got it. Now we explain what the fields are. Let's scan a vendor's barcode. So they would normally have this posted close to the cash register to streamline payments, and you're going to click the scan button.
Yeah.
And then line up your phone with their code, and it'll automatically capture it on most devices.
Yep.
And now the app is going to auto-select the most logical deal if they are present from the vendor.
That's right. So it's going to know the currency that the vendor's in. It's going to know the currency you said you want to pay in. And it's going to pick the Euro currency deal because you had initially said you wanted to send €200.
And if there's a discount, you can then apply in this case, Burger Lovers deal in Euro, and you can apply the deal.
Yeah. So again, it was automatically applied to be what's most logical, but you do have the ability to click on it to see if maybe there's a different deal that he has that you like more.
Got it. Now you're going to see the numbers have automatically changed. Instead of €200 in the total and 65 in the remaining amount, the 10% discount has been applied to take €20 of each.
Correct. So now there's 45 left owing instead of 65, and you can see the total amount of the transaction was 180 versus 200.
There you go. And It's all just been automatically done for you. It's still taking the maximum 130 that you were allowed and the €5. It's just now taking your balance remaining and bringing that down from 65 to 45.
That's right. And again, even on this screen, you have the ability to change things. So
there you go. So there it is. You can change the buttons if you want to. And as you already said, instead of €200, 65, it's just showing the 10% discount's been applied to take €20 off.
Yeah, and you had missed the maximum buttons. So there's the little maximum buttons on the previous slide where you can actually click them and it'll automatically fill for you again, whatever your maximum is, if in fact it didn't use the maximum. So
now it won't use the maximum 975 here, Dennis. And why is that?
Because the maximum you can use is 5 at any vendor lifetime.
There you go. Lifetime.
Yeah.
One time. Lifetime per vendor.
One vendor. You got it.
Got it. All right.
Spread the love.
And then once you're happy, you're going to click transfer to send the funds.
You got it.
And you're going to get a chance to confirm. So you're going to see exactly a summary of what is going on.
Yep, €130 and 5 credits. The Burger Lovers deal was applied, and your original total was 200, but now it's 180. And on the next slide, we actually show the bottom of that confirmation screen.
There it is. Remaining to pay is €45. And when you're happy, click confirm. Wow, you've just done a payment. Now don't forget to scan your receipt.
Yeah, so the scanning receipt is the last little bit that we're putting in place before we can turn everything live. And basically, you've done a payment. If you don't scan the receipt within 24 hours, your transaction will be reversed into a negative balance into your personal account or from your Euro balance if you have one. So it is critical that you scan the receipt because that's the thing that validates the whole system, shows that the vendor isn't doing anything wrong, shows that you're not doing anything wrong, and that's really the key. So if you don't do that, you're going to suddenly see negative €5 credit. We're not going to screw the vendor. The vendor still gets your money, but you're going to now have a negative balance in your account. And if you had commissions, it'll actually take it from your commission. So it's super critical that you do things right. We're not going to roll it back on the vendor because that's unfair. It's you that didn't do your job. The vendor shouldn't pay for that mistake. So it'll come back on you. So simply do that, scan the receipt, upload it, everything's good. And of course, scanning the receipt's the key to getting your loyalty reward credits as well.
Exactly. And scan a receipt. This needs to be a valid receipt, Dennis. This isn't, I can't go and just grab a napkin and write down, I owe you $40.
Yeah, no, because the receipts are actually human verified. So if there's anything suspicious, you got to remember, Craig, we need to keep the system safe or our vendors don't win, right? So if we get some rogue person we don't know that downloads the app from iTunes and figures out some way that he thinks he's going to scam the system, this hurts all of the Metropolee members. This hurts the vendors. This hurts everyone. So we need to be very diligent to make sure that doesn't happen. So, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the cool fraud protection. Everyone's like, when are you turning payments on? Well, Craig, it's not just about turning payments on. That's the easy part. The engine behind to make sure that we don't suddenly run amok with free money all over the place is the hard part. And that's actually what's taking the time.
Right. So let's go and let's go in a little bit more details then. Okay. So let's talk about the free €5 rules.
Yeah. So we're getting close now. So as you've seen from the previous presentation, those are actually the iPhone. Those were actually taken right from the iPhone app itself. So that is the level that it's at. So we're getting very, very, very close. And we just thought that now that we're getting this close to turning on payments, as we previewed with that quick little presentation, we thought it's really important now to get into the nitty gritty of the terms and conditions of the program. Now they're there in the Metro SMA terms and conditions, but what do we all do with terms and conditions, Craig?
Yeah, we scroll and we click, I have read the terms and conditions.
So we want to share with you now how it all fits together, so that you can see how we protect the vendor, why it's a safe home for a vendor to come, and what we're doing just to prevent fraud.
Right. So what does €5 mean globally, Dennis?
Well, this is the thing. We started with €5, and the whole idea when we started with €5 is the idea of, hey, can I give you a free cup of coffee? Like a Starbucks or a premium cup of coffee somewhere. And so that was sort of where the thing started as €5. And now, as we're getting into some other countries where €5 has, like a week's worth of food value, that sort of throws the whole program out of whack, even to the point of making it not work well. So because the intention was always the cup of coffee concept, we're going to be announcing some stuff and implementing them over the next couple of weeks. Not in a rush. Everyone still sign your people up now. It's the best deal you'll ever get. But we're going to be implementing some things where we actually adjust the amount we give more to the local economies so that it's sort of set towards the idea of a premium cup of coffee wherever you are.
Right. Got it. And that makes sense because what we're seeing is, when €5 is, a week's wage, it also then sets up some false expectations for members thinking that this is a way they're going to be able to share a free app and get rich. And are trying to find ways to fraud our system. And it just puts more of our resources at risk and cost to put up the fraud prevention.
Right. And of course, it could reflect on the vendors. And next thing you know, we've created a problem for one of our vendors because someone's scamming the system and we have to refuse the withdrawal because it's been evident that the system's been scammed. We don't want vendors going through that, but our terms and conditions are clear that should someone start finding a way to take advantage of the system, we can block the withdrawals and whatever. Like we're here to do the right thing by the right people, which includes, unfortunately, stomping out fraud.
Yeah, and remember, everybody, we're asking you to download an app for free, and we're giving you some money to spend with a vendor, some free money to spend with a vendor. We are not giving you free money to put into your bank account.
What?
So I understand that. I know, Dennis. I know it's hard to believe.
You guys don't have a magic money tree out back that just spits out €5 bills for everybody? Hang on, I'm going to go check.
I'm looking at my window. I don't see it. I don't have one.
Yeah, no.
You see one up there downtown Vancouver? Is it what?
I'm on the 20th floor, and I can see a lot of trees. Not one of them has €5 notes hanging off them.
I tell you, that's crazy. All right, so we're going to be updating the app to have more currency specific to the countries we have vendors in to reflect this.
That's right. So this is
we're going to stay with euro. But we're going to adjust the euro to the local economy, just like you were talking about. So here's some numbers. And if you got the old amount, don't worry, you get to keep it. All right. So most of Western Europe is going to be €5.
That's right. Colombia is going to drop down to 5,000 pesos.
Yeah. We're looking at countries in Africa. We're still working on what those numbers are going to be.
And that's because there's like 100 different currencies in Africa. So we're still doing a bit of research to figure out what's going to work best for Africa.
Yeah. Canada. What do you mean? I don't get €5 in Canada. I only get 5 Canadian.
$5? That's not $7.50 like it would be converted from euros. What's going on, Craig?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Or 5 US or 5 Aussie. But that's what I can get a good Venti non-fat light foam extra hot caramel macchiato for at Starbucks.
Right.
There you go. You pay by the syllable.
That's it.
All right. So let's go into the actual rules for Business Finder app users, Dennis, so they get this.
Okay. So the first one is Business Finder app, free €5 or equivalent program. We keep saying or equivalent because eventually it's not going to be €5. It's going to be the cup of coffee program or however we describe it. So there's one presentation that works everywhere in the world. But first rule, €5 credits expire within 60 days from the time of receipt or your last earned €5 or 60 days after a vendor is within 50 kilometers of your enrolled location, whichever comes last. So we're not going to take away your credits because there's no vendors to spend them in, so we're going to take them away anyways. You get 60 days from when there's someone within 50 kilometers of you. Or we're not going to take them away if you're active in the program and continuing to refer other people and continue to earn more €5 credits because that means you're active in the program. This is just the protection so that we don't have this humongous liability out there from people that downloaded the app, got their €5, deleted the app, and they're on our books. So that's where the rule comes from.
Makes sense. So now it says here that the value is for a purchase up to or more than the €5 or equivalent.
Yes.
So you got to use the whole thing in a single transaction.
Correct.
Got it. And if your transaction is for less than the €5 equivalent in your country, the vendor gets the amount of the receipt and you lose the balance of the free credit. So it's kind of like having a $5 coupon, €5 coupon.
Yeah, exactly. So except that we do let you use it to apply against a smaller balance, but you don't keep the balance of the coupon. So yeah, exactly.
And then you got to upload your receipt within 24 hours or you're going to get a negative €5 or equivalent on what you have spent or have the money taken from your appropriate personal account.
That's correct.
Got it. So folks, it doesn't take long to upload a receipt. I mean, we're literally going to be having it set up so that you got your receipt. Here, I'm going to grab a receipt, and you're going to go, ding, upload, done.
And we're going to attach it to the end of the payment process. So after it says payment success, there's going to be a button right there, scan your receipt. So it's meant to be super easy, done right in real time. So you're not going to forget about it. You can do it standing in line at the cafe or the restaurant or wherever you just made a purchase. You know, that beautiful sweater you just bought, it'll be in the bag and your receipt will be in your hand. Boom, done.
Yeah. So nice and easy. Awesome. That's great. So let me go back to what we were looking at. Get to the next screen again. Okay, great. So now what is this maximum €5 for any transaction and lifetime €5 to any one vendor? Why have we done that, Dennis?
Again, as I previewed earlier, the program is about us bringing customers to. So I think sometimes the networkers get confused as to what the program is. The program is not, like you said, to make a networker feel like he's getting rich with €5 credits. But the program is absolutely about getting more vendors into our payment system. And the only way we're going to do that is to make sure that every networker who gets a whole bunch of credits has to go try a bunch of different places to use them. Otherwise, again, you'll see it happen. You're always going to go to your friend's restaurant. That doesn't help the system. It doesn't even really help your friend, because if that's happening for you, then that means everyone else is doing the same thing, going to their friend's restaurant. So therefore, none of our vendors get this big bunch of new customers that we expect them to get. So this is 100% something that the vendors will love. Again, is a guy that we just gave free €5 going to be upset that he can't amalgamate them and spend $100 at a vendor? Craig, I know it's awful to say, but I don't care. The program's about helping small businesses. We don't help small businesses unless we have rules in the program to make sure that we fulfill our promise of bringing new people to that vendor.
Now, you're not saying on this that we're limiting the amount you can spend at a vendor. If you earn commissions or you want to use your money, you're going to spend more at a vendor, and you're allowed to spend all your commissions that are there through the app. It's not a problem. It's just
again, remember, the point of the program is not for you just to spend €5. The point of the program is go to the place, buy whatever it is you want to buy. You get the €5 off, and you pay the balance to the vendor directly. So the vendor's loving it because he got real money as well as the credit money, and it's not stressful for them. You buy a $500 sweater somewhere. The $500 sweater, you get €5 off. The guy still gets his €495. And remember, Craig, the vendor's not going to be so much about, oh my God, I can't wait to get those €5. The vendor's more about, well, hang on a second. I would have, you go in and talk to any vendor and say, hey, how much would you pay to get a new customer to walk in the door and make a guaranteed purchase with you? And I guarantee there's not a vendor in a restaurant, a cafe, or anything that would give you a number less than €5. So the vendors aren't as focused on the €5 as the members are focused on the €5. Right. So just keep that in mind, that this is a vendor-facing program. And by the way, we all benefit with an extra $5. We can give $5 to our friends. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Now, we do have human fraud protection in place. We will be looking at receipts as they come in because they're uploaded. When we have human intervention, it does mean we are looking for like an outsized number of €5 credits or equivalent, or receipts that appear to be looking like they were just scribbled or not real.
That's right. Yeah, we're always watching.
Yeah. So now loyalty credits are not subject to the same min-max rules as free fiat equivalent credits.
That's correct. But it's important that if you're selling a vendor on using them or accepting them, that they're comfortable knowing that these cannot be withdrawn. They can only be used to make further purchases at other vendors. And it's up to the vendor if they choose to accept them. Okay, we don't force people to take them. Again, if I was a vendor, I would immediately take them because that would bring me more customers. And to me, if I'm bringing a new customer in and they're spending $25 on dinner and I'm just having to get a bunch of credits that I may use one day, I may not use one day, I'd be willing to pay that $5 anyways. Right. So I'm not concerned about it, but I know, because if I pitched that vendor, they'd be very clear that there's a lot of people that have earned these credits through the commission plan. So there's going to be way more people with credit balances that are a lot bigger than €5 that they can get involved with to get that person in for their first thing. And of course, the vendor will eventually also be able to set the maximum amount of credits they'll accept towards a transaction. Right now, that's not there, but that'll come in the future.
Yeah, and our long-term goal is to convert these credits into our own cryptocurrency, when utility and distributed balances allow.
Exactly. Until we have the utility to make sure that the coin is not a garbage coin. See how I did that? I used the word that everyone else doesn't use, but to make sure that it's not a garbage coin and it actually has real utility so that it has the ability to maintain a value and possibly go up in value. We're not going to be doing that. So this is sort of the 1 to 2 year plan. So don't go jumping all over us. When's it going to be there? When's it going to be there? It's going to be there when we have a big enough system of people and enough utility to make it a smart move. To do it in the beginning would not be a smart move. And of course, whatever balances people have at the time that we do turn it on would be convertible to that crypto at that time.
Right. Now, when you refer someone who spends their entire €5 or equivalent at a legitimate vendor, you get an additional €5 in the currency and the amount you originally received.
Correct. Now, the key point that you need to understand here, Craig, is if you do go in and only spend €2, right? So, no, let's say if your person goes in and only spends €2, then the rest of their 5 disappears, as we explained earlier, and you do not get your €5.
Right.
Your €5 is about teaching them how to be a good person in the system, right? So there we go. You don't get it unless they spend their whole €5 in their transaction. They don't get to buy a pack of gum and you get €5 for that. No vendor wins by that happening.
No, exactly. Nobody wins. All right.
Well, you win.
Okay. So the referral bonus are available to spend with the same rules as your initial free €5 or equivalent.
Correct. And again, fraudulent looking referrals and all that will be investigated. We have the right to take legal action. Yada, yada, yada. All the lawyer forced boilerplate.
Got it. Fantastic. Now let's go into the actual details. So there's on the loyalty program, Dennis. Now this is actually really exciting.
This is really fun. So 0.5% is paid on sales through the user app and loyalty credit. So as you scan your receipt, you get 0.5% of the scanned receipt amount back in loyalty credits every time you go spend. And keep in mind, you don't have to have any money in your personal account. You don't have to have any free €5 credits to go out and spend money direct with a vendor, scan the receipt, and get your loyalty credits. So this is a really, really cool program, and this is the real key point. We want everyone using the program, whether you have euros for free or not. The whole idea is to get out there and support the vendors that are doing it. And that's the point, right? That's the promise we make to the vendors. We're going to bring you customers that come in. The key point is when you don't have any €5, you still get your 0.5% loyalty program. You're going to want to keep using those vendors.
Now, who pays for that loyalty program? Is that loyalty program paid for by the vendor or by Metropolee?
Yes.
Yes. But it's not out of their back pocket. I mean, but the loyalty program is put on. It's one of the benefits of being a vendor in the Business Finder app.
That's correct.
Yeah. Got it. Awesome. I love that. Okay. Now, should a vendor disagree with any receipt uploaded by a user, we could hold that for investigation. You will need to upload the receipt and type in the value to get your points. So you're also, make sure we can read it. You actually have to type it in. If the user does not upload the receipt and he or she never gets the points, and then we'll have taken the €5 out of their balance, even if it puts them in a negative.
That's right.
We said before. And loyalty credits is 0.5% of fiat, or of course, paid in any other currency converted to fiat for purposes of calculating.
That's right. So basically, it's 0.5% of euro, 0.5% of euro equivalent in fiat.
Got it.
Base currency is euros.
Got it. And loyalty credits are not subject, as we said, to the same min-max rules as free fiat equivalent credits. They cannot be withdrawn, only used to make further purchases at vendors that accept it.
Yeah, it's a loyalty program.
There
like
you go.
your Starbucks stars, you can only use them to get cool stuff for free at Starbucks. Except
Right.
here you can get cool stuff for free anywhere that accepts them.
Right, and here you just put it out. So basically 10,000 loyalty credits has a value of €1.
Correct.
There we go. That makes it nice and easy to understand.
Yeah, and that's, again, because the future idea of a crypto, we needed to sort of stay in the Satoshi land so that we don't have a crypto that is a whole number and becomes a bit of a nightmare.
Got it. Now let's look at the rules for directory advertisers.
Yeah, and the biggest one is, again, if they choose to accept loyalty credits, you need to make sure they understand that they can only be spent at another vendor. Again, smartest thing ever, in my opinion, is for someone to take them because of the fact that they come to our member base through the commission plan. So I think it's a good thing, but you need to make sure you're full disclosure. We don't want any vendors complaining after the fact that, well, they didn't tell me that, right? So really important to sell the program correctly, because we are building something worldwide that is meant to help small businesses. We don't want we don't want deceptive sales practices.
And one of those vendors that they'll be able to spend those with is Metropolee, on being able to get better, higher listings and rankings in our app, etc.
Yeah, so long term, as we get more and more people involved and more vendors involved, the idea is to allow the vendors to pay for a premium listing. That would be available through the loyalty reward credits, or maybe they're going to join an ad co-op if we have one. So there's a whole bunch of things coming, or maybe they want to just pay to buy some consulting hours to help them set up Metro SMA better, to help their business better. All of those kind of things will be available in the loyalty credits as well. So there's a fairly significant advantage long-term to having those loyalty credits. And then, of course, going to a crypto eventually.
Got it. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So for a vendor, the minimum withdrawal is €100 in cash or crypto equivalent.
Yes, and withdrawals are processed each Thursday. Actually, that we changed to Wednesday, so it coincides with the regular member withdrawals. So sorry, that is a typo. It is Wednesday.
All right. Now, cash withdrawal servicing by wire transfer is what, Dennis?
But Craig, Metropolee is all about hurting vendors. That's why we do this. We simply do this to hurt the vendors and to tick them off. I mean, we're screwing them. We're trying to make their money hard to get, and that's the whole point. So 75.
And what's the real reason, Dennis?
Huh?
What's the real reason? How much does it cost? How much does it actually cost for a wire transfer?
Yeah. So the reality is one of the difficulties in the short term is being able to get money from a bank account to a bank account of someone in a foreign country in euros. And of course, if the money was originating from US dollars, then it gets converted to euros. And if it's ending up in whatever Swiss francs, then two conversion rates happen. So in other words, for us out of the Canadian company to send a wire transfer costs us $55 and the labor to do it. So this isn't because we're trying to be mean. There is a fairly significant cost to sending the money. So they can stack up as much of it as they want to limit that. If they do Bitcoin, then we drop that to $25 because there's less work involved and it's much easier to do. Right. In the future, as we have different banking options and different things set up, we'll be able to probably bring that down to the $25 area through various payment systems that are available. So over time, this will get better and better. But yeah, unfortunately, this is just a reality of running a business, and this is what it costs.
There you go. All right. Just want to make that clear. Now, access fee. So it is going to actually cost them a little bit to be able to use our app. It's not free.
No, the idea is that we want to be cheaper than Visa, and we want to do something that Visa doesn't do. And that's bring you customers that otherwise didn't know about you. You know, Visa's great because, oh yeah, they take Visa. But I mean, let's face it, I travel all over the world, and every place I walk into, except Japan, and even Japan's changed, I fully expect that they take Visa. Like if they don't take Visa, it's a surprise. So the fact that they take Visa is not making me pick them because everyone takes Visa. And Visa's not advertising in an app who close by takes Visa. So the whole idea here is we're bringing them a stream of customers. We're cheaper than Visa to do so. So if the first 1,000 in sales per month is 1.5%, from 1,000 to 2,500 is 1.25, 2,500 to 5,000 is 1%, and 5,000 plus per month is 0.9%.
And this comes out of their what account, Dennis?
Well, it all comes out of the sale. So every sale that goes through, it comes out from their personal, well, it comes out from the funds that the funds that the vendor has received basically at the time they're sending them. So if you send $100 and they're at the 1.5, they're going to get $100 less 1.5 deposited.
There you go. Got it. And once again, we're going to talk about loyalty credits, so we're just repeating it here again. They're not subject to the same rules as fiat. They cannot be withdrawn, only used to make purchases of other vendors. And it's up to a vendor to choose to accept them or not.
That's right.
So what is our fraud protection, Dennis?
Fraud protection. Data, straight up data. The fact that we have the ability to take a look at all of the cafes in our system and see what kind of redemptions they're getting, make someone doing something funny stick out like a sore thumb. So then, of course, we employ advanced risk modeling to detect fraudulent transaction clues across our services. Fraudulent transactions are immediately canceled after being detected. Only active orders associated with the same fraudulent credit card will be canceled immediately, credit card or transaction through our system. And we also actively leverage external cross-industry resources such as worldwide fraud blacklists to prevent fraudulent users from accessing our service in the first place. So it's just about data. The more we learn, the more we can see that someone's probably doing something strange. And then we can maybe go to the restaurant and say, hey guys, you seem out of whack. Can you send us a copy of your menu? Can you take a picture of the sign that's advertising this exactly €5 special that you've had 350 people come to today? Right?
Right.
We're watching.
So we understand. I mean, people can set up a Business Finder app and say that they are a consultant.
Yes.
And they're consulting on how to get 5 free euros. And they say it's 50 euros to learn how to get 5 euros. And we're seeing, and this consultation takes an hour.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we see,
1,000
transactions in 3 days.
1,000 of them.
Yeah.
So that's 1,000 times an hour times divided by 8 hours a day. Oh, so we sold 9 months worth of consulting. That would raise a flag, Craig. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and understand that because humans are being involved, we will be looking at it. And we know that people are trying to figure out how to go and collect. We've already seen it happen. People trying to collect 5 euros and transfer them to each other's account and fill them up and withdraw them.
Yeah, and until now, we can say, hey, we were in beta. You didn't know. Moving forward as of this call today, now you know. That kind of thing happening can lead to instant termination, right? It just won't be tolerated, right? If it was tolerated, our whole system becomes invalid. So
just because you found a backdoor way to do something in the system doesn't make it right to do it, everybody. Okay.
And we would do that more as bug testing for us to fill the holes and reverse all of the fraudulent transactions you did thinking you were getting away with it.
And we do appreciate you finding these and bring it to our attention so that we can make this a safe system for all of our vendors.
That's it. And it'll grow over time. So we're very, very excited about the protections we have in place to make sure that the vendors benefit like we promised.
Great. So what's next, Dennis?
Well, we've got a few things coming. So one of the things that'll be turned on very shortly, people have probably noticed that the SMS verification now happens. We will be turning on the back end to force you to pick which account, if you have multiples on your mobile, you want, and the rest will be deleted. So 1 account per mobile number, which really means 1 account per person. If we start seeing somebody with 10 accounts from the exact same IP address from the back end, because you've bought 10 different SIM cards, there's a very good chance that we will shut them down. So again, it's just about keeping integrity of the system. We don't have a magic €5 money tree. So that function is going to come on. And also keep in mind, because we've had a few tickets come in now where people have said, well, my friend downloaded it and put in my username and he didn't get his money. The money is tied to the SMS validation. Until you SMS validate, you do not get your 5 free euros or pesos or whatever. So if your friend's complaining they didn't get it, there's a very, very good chance that the SMS failed, or they just didn't do it because they thought they could just sign up for you and get their money and not have to do anything, or it's one of those, well, I don't want my phone number in anything that people know about. Great. Then we don't want our 5 euros on your phone. Simple, right? Yeah. We're buying the right to be on your phone. We're buying the right to send you push notifications. We're buying the right to send you emails as per our terms and conditions, which brings us to the next thing that's coming, Craig.
Yes. This is really, really cool. Enabling the app to push free users to your Metro TBS to learn more about the business or becoming a vendor. Now, this is really exciting, Dennis.
Yeah, so imagine that now, instead of you trying to sample your foot cream or sample your eyebrow wax or whatever MLM product there is, now all you need to do is go out and get everyone you can to download the free app, knowing that over time, that free app that they've agreed to get push notifications, they've agreed to get emails, they've agreed to be marketed to, And if they don't like it, they can go away. We've paid €5 for this right. So it's not going to be offensive. Obviously, we're not going to pound them with stuff so that they hate us. But we will slowly suggest, hey, would you be interested in knowing a way to make a little extra money by referring your friends? Stage 1, right? Earn the €5 for referring your friends. And then it'll ask them if they might be interested in earning a little bit more money by taking a look at how the business works and helping small businesses get involved to accept their 5 free euros. And then stage 3, do you know any businesses that might want to get involved? So all of those things are going to come out and simply push them to your Metro TBS funnel so that should they convert, they're in your group. If for whatever reason you haven't bought a pack to get a Metro TBS, then it'll go to the corporate account and be dealt with as far as distributed amongst people who have the app. So the key is you want to make sure you have a Metro TBS license because the app will start to prospect for you. So and now we find out €5 bills in the app and let the system help to do what you might be afraid to do. Of course, we don't suggest you rely on that. We suggest you still do your job as a good networker, but this is probably the first program in history where the simple product becomes the prospecting aid, and it'll take care of all the things you're scared to do.
Great. And how do you get a Metro TBS license there, Dennis?
Buy a pack.
Buy a pack. Any of the packs come with a Metro TBS license.
That's
the
correct.
Basic, the Pro, and the Enterprise pack.
You got it.
Awesome. Well, Dennis, we went through a lot of stuff today. We got a lot of exciting things coming. So make sure you've downloaded the latest version of the app. I know I saw a new app just got uploaded today.
Absolutely.
New version.
So close. We're just bolting down a few more things in the fraud engine, a few more things in the back end. The app is literally working and does the things it needs to do. Now it's just about some back end checks with we got about 100 people that are testing the app right now, and we're hoping that they can show us anything we've missed. And then we're getting so close to letting it free for everyone. And now you know the rules. So now you know when it goes live.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us for our Wednesday update. Look forward to talking to you on Thursday, because Thursday we do our full Metropolee business presentation.
Betcha. Now, we are going to be changing the time for this call. As we are starting to have more traction in North America. This is 11 o'clock in the morning in North America is not a convenient time. So we are going to be changing this probably to 6 or 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, which would be 9 o'clock in Colombia for any English-speaking Colombians. And of course, it'll work better for all of the time zones in North America, also better for the time zones in Australia. So yeah, as we continue to grow and evolve, and then again, should we have bigger Europe presences that aren't being looked after by leaders, then we can certainly go back and start adjusting things for the European market. Right now, we have leadership that's taking care of it in their local languages.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for your time, Dennis. Good talking with you.
All right, Greg. Bye now.